Lesson 116. In this lesson, we learn a new neuter noun of the second declension, and that's aurum. Let's jump right into our exercises. In exercise 1, desidero is the verb, and aurum is the direct object. So number 1 is, I want gold, or I am longing for gold. In number 2, habent is the verb, weary is the subject, silwai is a genitive singular that's possessing weary, and aurum is the direct object. So number 2 will say, the men of the forest do not have gold. In number 3, nawagamos is the verb, and then we have two prepositional phrases. Ad patriam is a prepositional phrase, and cum pecunia auroque is sort of a special prepositional phrase because it has two objects of the preposition, pecunia and auroque. So number 3 will say, we are sailing to the homeland with money and gold. In number 4, we have two clauses, one before the word quod and one after. In the first one, delent is the verb, nautai is the subject, opida is the direct object, and insulai is a genitive singular possessing opida. In the second clause, desiderant is the verb, and aurum is the direct object. So number 4 will say, the sailors are destroying the towns of the island because they want gold. In number 5, amant is the verb. There are two subjects, pueri and puelaique. Opd is a genitive singular possessing pueri and puelaique. Agros is the direct object, and arare is an infinitive that means to plow. So number 5 will say, the boys and girls of the town do not like to plow the fields. In number 6, there are two clauses, one before the word quod and one after. In the first clause, servamos is the verb, and opidum is the direct object. In the second clause, timemos is the verb, inkolas is the direct object, and insularum is a genitive plural that's possessing inkolas. So number 6 will say, we are guarding the town because we fear the inhabitants of the islands. In number 7, we have two clauses, one before quod and one after. In the first clause, damos is the verb, philiis is the indirect object, poetai is a genitive singular possessing philiis, kibum is the direct object, and saipe is the adverb. In the second clause, habent is the verb, and there's no other word to be the subject, so we'll have to use they as the subject. Pecuniam is the direct object. So number 7 will say, we often give food to the sons of the poet because they do not have money, or we often give food to the poet's sons because they do not have money. In number 8, narat is the verb, poeta is the subject, philiis is the indirect object, reginae is a genitive singular possessing philiis, fabulas is the direct object, and saipe is an adverb. So number 8 will say, the poet often tells stories to the sons of the queen, or the poet often tells stories to the queen's sons. In number 9, the word sed divides the sentence into two clauses. In the first clause, habet is the verb, filius is the subject, reginae is a genitive singular that's possessing filius, and there are two direct objects, pecuniam and aurumque. In the second clause, desiderat is the verb, he is the subject, in agris is a prepositional phrase, cum agricolis is a prepositional phrase, and laborare is an infinitive that means to work. So number 9 will say, the son of the queen has money and gold, but he wants to work in the fields with the farmers. In number 10, potes means you are able. It's being negated by known. Circum insulam is a prepositional phrase, and natare is an infinitive that means to swim. So number 10 will say, you are not able to swim around the island.